Bet You Can't never happened. I've got something really, really important to tell you on this April Fool's. If you'd like to look over at me and ask me, feel free to do so.
I'm getting that burning sensation. What have you done? Because if you've done what I think you've done, my wife's going to kill you.
I had that same conversation with mine last night.
It's the movie.
Yep.
So it's all fake. All you did was hurt my family. Oh, I knew it. You know what? This one I knew.
What did I say, guys?
You didn't even say that.
You know what? I've got proof. I recorded myself prior to days ago.
Hold on.
Saying that I knew I was being pranked. That's how I have proof.
You believed it. You were about 95% in.
No. Did you ever heard me talking about it at all? And there's been all these little updates, including our agent calling me, and I haven't said a thing on air or to you.
I know. And I know I've gotten, about 3 weeks.
Man, I'm just going to tell you, you have finally, and Brandy, all of you have lit the fuse. Because if you think I'm not capable of horrible things,
So you've done.
It's coming back on you tenfold. You're going to rule the day. You ever messed with me on this one?
3 weeks ago.
Rule the day.
3 weeks ago, the idea that Steve was being asked by an old listener from back in the day that used to frequent the bar.
Sounded legit.
Oh, of course it did.
It was his name. He went by Bill Dempsey. Said that he had talked to me several times at the bar and that I helped him through some rough times where he lost everything.
His family in a fire. And you remember that conversation. And
I've had 10, 15 people in my life come up to me and talk about house fires. I mean, dude, I've been doing this a long time. You hear about tragedy all the time.
So
that's not my first house fire talk.
Nate put together a website, redneckrabbitthemovie.com.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nate.
What?
And Steve,
Nate, I could ruin all three of you.
Over the past 3 weeks, there was a string of emails by this fictitious character by the name of Bill Dempsey that used to listen to Steve back in the day, now lives out in L.A. and is directing and writing this movie. And he wants Steve as the main character. Steve was very, very excited for this opportunity. It was hook, line, and sinker from day one. And then about a week and a half into this April Fool's joke that I was playing on Steve, some douchebag goes on Twitter and puts in Steve's head that it could possibly be an April Fool's prank, which I think was the question mark that was put.
Only one person did it.
One person did it.
You did it. And I read that and I went, oh, that's very possible. But see, I don't think I've already put my father-in-law and me on this. The characters that y'all use don't exist. You can't find them.
Oh, well, you can on redneckrabbitthemovie.com.
You can there, but you said it was a Dano, and I'm like Bookham Dano, and I'm like, that's the Hawaii Five-0. There was a Dan NHO who was the executive producer who I was supposed to fly out to L.A. and meet. And I was 50-50. 50-50. What you really did that was... Oh, this is BS. Because I did pay people to work with me in the studio to cut this. I was told to go back to the drawing board. And instead of doing it good old Southern boy, put a little more redneck into it.
Oh, by the way, here's the money that you paid.
Yeah, we didn't keep it. We
Nate
would never do that to you.
To help you out.
Never.
And then I wrote
would not do
Jenner's,
that to
Rob
you.
Jenner's $50 down I wrote him a check so
I don't know if you're
write
getting.
it off.
I don't know if you're getting that back. Don't worry. We're just.
I'm out $50.
For those listening, we're just touching
Dude,
on this
I'm sweating
because
over here. I'm so angry.
I've got all the audio to play for you here. So we're just touching it. We're just making sure everybody's on the same page. Now, so these string of emails for the past 3 weeks, I knew halfway through it when whoever that douche nozzle was that went on to Twitter and put in your head that could possibly be an April Fool's, I was like, I need some recon. So I had to get our agent involved.
I can't believe you got him involved because that's the only time. Here's what last night I said to Amanda. Because she just came back in town from Augusta. I'm like, you know what? There could be a chance that this is legit. She goes, what? I go, Paul called me, our agent, and he's giving me his usual, he likes to talk to you for a minute.
I told him specifically to talk to you for a minute.
Well, he did it quick. He's like, yeah, man, I'm in Denver. Oh, I just left Denver where it was snowing. I just landed in L.A. God, the weather's beautiful here. But look, I got to tell you something real quick.
Will White.
I got Will White contacted me. Or White something.
Oh, no, I made him up. Will White,
that's good. He goes, this gentleman contacted me, and he goes, we're playing phone tag, but I will get a hold of him this weekend, but he wants to get your availability from Cumulus. He wants to know what your contract states, and we're going to look at your availability to do this project. And I'm like, okay. So at that point, because Paul's involved, our agent, then I'm back on the I'm believing it train.
Oh,
a
I know.
little bit. Leaning. I won't say 100%. I'm being totally honest. I'm not trying to be cool and act like you didn't get me. But I went back to about 70%, knowing full well there's still a chance that I'm being played and that he's in on it.
That was the kind of the point of this April Fool's. Wait till you hear this audio, because the screen test stuff.
Oh, come on, man.
The screen test is fantastic, but here's the thing: is that
God, I'm going to get y'all back. Oh my God!
I knew
one
that
at a time you're going to go down.
I knew, with being how you are, that it would be tough for you to fight, knowing that you could possibly have the main lead voice acting role in this animated film called Redneck Rabbit, the movie. Even though there is always going to be that inkling, especially with April Fool's coming up, that I could be getting you want to believe it. And I just tapped into that. And
of course.
I knew. And so
the glass is more than halfway full with me.
Every conversation that you had with our agent, Paul Anderson, he would call me right afterwards because I was feeding him everything that he was telling you. Now, I will tell you this.
And now I reached out to Paul on my own.
Oh, I know. I called him before and said that you would. I predicted that you would.
Well, because it got to the point where the person that was contacting me, this fake person, Bill Dempsey.
I wrote all the emails. Every single
such an a-hole.
Every response you got was from me and Nate. Well,
Nate. No. I knew you were into it.
They were from him.
Nate and I had 48 hours ago, just so you know, because Nate is the kind of guy that Nate and I have similar personalities. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, Nate, don't lie to me. I said, this will come back to haunt you. I said, there's things that I can do for you in this city, and there's things I will stop you from doing in this city. I mean, I basically threatened him in a nice way. I said, I can make you or break you in this town.
Ooh.
I know. I went old school Atlanta. Ooh. And then that was the threatening part. And then the other part was, and Nate, you know how much I like you, and you're a great guy, and you're a good dude. And I said, I just really, I just like you. And I said, I don't want to not like you.
Just know that.
And he looked me right in the eye and goes, dude, I'm telling you, I don't know anything. I got no idea.
Just know that every single email, every talk that you had with this Bill Dempsey.
When I'm all choked up. I didn't talk to him. Everything was email. Yeah, and that's the thing. This guy never called me.
It was through me. You were talking to me the entire time. Every response.
How thankful was I?
Was they were fantastic.
I really feel like crap.
I really wanted to publish email. Now here's what I wanted to do today.
God.
Let me take this phone call real quick, because this was the supposed setup. We can't do it anymore, and then we're going to get to the audio, because this audio is fantastic. But you were up for the main role with Eric Roberts.
Yeah, I was against Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts, the great C actor.
So when I thought that you were starting to catch on, I was going to get another celebrity to have a role in Redneck Rabbit, the movie, this April Fool's prank that I played on Steve. And Bill Dempsey was going to reach out to you and say, hey, would you like to have the celebrity that I have hired for another character who's going to play the duck in the movie on? It didn't quite work out how we had kind of planned it the other day. This is Hal Sparks is on the phone. He got up early, but Hal Sparks was going to help us out with this, but we got to him late. I kind of bum rushed Hal. He was at Universal with his kid the other day. So the joke's already out, Hal, but I appreciate you getting up early.
This almost qualifies as an April Fool's joke on me at this point. Or Hal in California.
Can't believe you're doing
this.
I'm
glad to be a part of it, even in retrospect.
Yeah, look, in retro would have been fantastic because Hal Sparks is such a fantastic, just talent.
Talent is the word.
Talent, yeah,
he's a talent,
and you would have been a great duck in Redneck Rabbit, the movie.
I actually am sort of driven on some level to make this actual project happen now. I am so invested, it's absurd.
How seriously? Yeah. Let's make an April Fool. Here's what you do to get Bailey and every douchebag in this room back. Why don't you really put this together, Hal, and let me have a stream of income come in, and I will rub it in their faces.
I think I'm actually for it at this point. I'm going to start developing the idea right now.
All right, Hal, get on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Hal.
I like it.
Hal, listen to this. Steve doesn't know this either. The payoff for this April Fool's joke that I wanted to originally do, but actually we all share in common Paul Anderson, mine and Steve's agent.
Yeah.
But Hal and Paul are good friends. But Paul actually talked me out of this, and so did Brandy and Nate, so you can show a little give from them. I wanted to have Bill Dempsey email you and say, I needed you in L.A. today, and you call us from LAX at this time and say April Fool's while you flew to Los Angeles.
That'd have been pretty damn funny.
That's what I said. I said Steve would have at least appreciated that.
That I would have appreciated. If I found myself in LAX calling you guys back, and then you said April Fool, and I've got 4 hours. I'm 4 hours away from home. And I spent money on an airline ticket.
I was just thinking about your flight back and how mad you would be at us.
Oh, 5-6 hours?
You guys should have consulted me on this, because a lot of great animation projects are not made in Los Angeles, and him calling from South Korea would have had
South Korea
for while he showed up there with had bought green tights and a box of ping pong balls, all ready for his mocap moment. You guys didn't go deep enough. I think that's what the issue was ultimately.
Well, Hal, you should. I mean, you've done a lot of this voiceover stuff. Yeah. I mean, you should go and look at the website. Our producer Nate put together.
I checked it out. Absolutely. I went method just in case I had to cover, spackle the gaps in your tall tale.
I am leaving work today at 9:02. I don't want to talk to anybody because I don't want to know who in the building's in on it, because I went down the hall. This is how bad it got out. I looked, and I even said to Rob Jenners, who I cut the initial audio with, who I would say is our local expert on working with voice talent, and I'm like, just look at the way the rabbit's standing. It does look like me. That's the way I stand. It is like the illustration of this rabbit was based on my character.
Oh, you think this is good? For those that are listening, we're going to take a quick one, and we're going to come back. The audio pieces from day one we have put into a montage. So when Steve, because
the evolution of the character.
Yeah, so I predicted, because I usually can predict Steve's reaction to stuff. I predicted Steve would say, I didn't buy it. I really kind of knew about this the whole time. So the excitement from one Southside Steve from day one of getting the phony email from Bill Dempsey, the listener from back in the day that's now in Los Angeles directing and writing the Redneck Rabbit movie. Everything that Steve said from day one we'll play for you next, and the screen test as the rabbit, Buck, as he's in character wearing his, the Crazy Bunny t-shirt? Psycho Bunny.
I wore Psycho Bunny t-shirts in here for 2 days and the socks to show that I was on board with the bunny. I practiced lines at home, really working on the redneck voice.
Hal Sparks, his wife showed up the first day he had to do the screen test, which I wrote, mind you. And I run into her at the elevator, and she's like, that's all he's talking about at home. He's so excited. He brought his wife in to watch him hop around a radio studio to get in character, thinking that's method.
No. I did hop because I wanted to be method. I hopped, but I will tell you that my wife was here because she's the one person that won't, she'll tell me how it is. So I said, watch, I don't want a bunch of people telling me I'm doing a good job if I'm not. I knew she would keep it real. So
you did a great job.
I wanted her in the room as an honest person.
You did a fantastic. You have the line of the year, the century, on the second screen test, when you are hoping that you don't sound like a certain community when reading.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all can't air that.
Oh, yes, we can. Hal Sparks. I appreciate you getting up early, brother. I really, really do.
Good luck. And just like, you signed the writer, you can't play my Quacker's character at all. I'm on the computer right now copywriting all the stuff that I did so that I can save myself the embarrassment.
All right, well, Hal, you take some time out of your busy career, and you actually let's make this happen.
Yeah, man. I'm actually convinced this could work now. I'm out of just anger at the hour.
The biggest receipt on this whole thing is if Hal Sparks takes the Redneck Rabbit movie and actually makes it a feature film and hires Steve, and I'm sitting there without any money in my pocket.
I would give you none.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hal, you're supposed to be on my side. You were
Nothing.
in on it, man.
Nothing.
All right, brother.
But now the worm turns.
Yeah.
Well, have a great time, guys.
All right, well-
Happy April Fools.
Yeah, you too, brother. We'll see you soon when you get to Atlanta. Make sure you come in here, all right?
Good morning.
All right.
We'll
Take
see.
care.
All
Bye.
right, there. We'll see you at
You
Hal
got
Sparks.
him up at 4 a.m.
Well, he was supposed to. It was supposed to work out a little bit differently, but that's fine. It's still good to talk to him. Are you ready for this?
No.
We'll take a break. We'll come back.
I'm trying not to be angry at you.
I know you are. I can see you. It's like
you know my temper. I'm Irish, man.
It's like
I'm-
you got
I'm
it. It's like you got a duty right now. You got the "I got socks for Christmas" look in your face. Such disappointment.
I think it ruined my weekend.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Oh, Steve.
I would ruin mine.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
From day one, Steve talking about the
Sucks.
excitement of the Redneck Rabbit movie, which he now found out it's an April Fool's joke, and then the screen test. The screen test. Not once, but twice. Of him acting like a rabbit.
An hour and a half of my life.
And by the way, taking it extremely seriously. Play that for you here in just a minute. It's Bailey and Southside Rock 100.5.